Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another C# tutorial. So in this video we're going to go over converting value types, and we're also going to go over variables. So I'm going to kind of make this pretty quick. So we went over value types like integers, strings, and a boolean, right? So to convert, let's go ahead and let's take let's take a integer of 5, or not 5, but integer a equals 5. And now we want to convert this to something it can become. So like anything with a decimal point cannot be a whole value. So a float cannot be an int or a bmin, or a byte, or any of those. Neither can a double or a decimal. But an int, a whole number, can become a decimal. So if you have like this one here, let me zoom in a little bit. If you have this here, double D equals 5.66, it cannot become a whole number because of the 0.66. Basic math, right? What it'll do is it will cut this off, and I believe it will round to the nearest whole number. Whoa, didn't want to do that. But if you take, say, 127 and convert it into any one of these, it'll add a decimal 0 at the end of it. So if we want to convert an integer to, say, a float, what we would do is we would do an equal sign, and we can do a convert dot to. I could have swore there's a to float, but I think there's not. No. Okay. My bad. Not a float, but a decimal, lowercase decimal, b equals convert dot to decimal a, and that's one way to convert. Now if we wanted to convert decimal b back to a, there's two ways to do this. We'll do an int c and an int, okay, we'll do an int z and an int x. So to convert them back to an integer, all you have to do is go equals, and you can do a convert dot to int 32 b, or you can do a int in parentheses b. And I believe this is the only one you can convert that way, because if I were to go decimal a, okay, I'm wrong. You can do it this way as well. So yes, I know it's redundant. Well, actually on this one I think you can just go a. Yeah, so if it's an integer, you can convert it to an integer, just, you know, simple. But now let's say we have a string. Okay, so in order to convert a to a string, all you have to do is go equals, and then you go a dot to string. And because toString is a it's a method, I believe. You have to put, well, yeah, it's a method, but since it's a method, you have to put parenthesis at the end of it. You can convert anything to a string, like literally anything, because all it does is just, it'll take the 5 and it'll put quotation marks around it, which turns the value into a string. And vice versa, if you want to turn the string into, say, back into an int, you just do the same thing. You either do the convert dot to int32z, or you can do the int in parentheses and z, which doesn't work. So if you're going to convert a string to an integer, you have to use the, yeah, that's right. Okay, so if you're going to convert a string into an integer, you have to use the convert.to. If you're going to convert an integer into an integer, you can use the first way, the int inside parentheses, like that. Converting a number into a boolean, I'm not really sure. If you can do that. No. Yes, you can. So, and all this will do is it'll return false because it's not 0. Because anything that's not 0 is false. But that's it for converting. That's really simple, and you'll use it quite a bit, mainly converting strings into integers. I do that quite often, and integers into strings. You'll do that quite often too. Variables. Okay. So the variable is like the a. Okay, so you have the data type, which is int. You have the variable a, and then you have the value of 5. So basically all it is it's a data type, the variable equals the value. And all a variable is basically, I don't know, I tend to call it a reference a lot, but it's not. It's more along the lines of just kind of like a nickname, I guess, like a shorthand abbreviation. Now here's one for you. Okay, so I'm drinking a Mountain Dew. And if you're from the Midwest, you call a Mountain Dew a pop. So everything under pop would be the data type, which would actually be a list, and we'll work on that later. We might actually use this for that. But yeah, nickname would be a good one. I'm not sure exactly what they actually call it. It is a It doesn't say. I thought it would say. So we're going to just declare a variable on this one. So int m. Now all you're doing is declaring that m will equal something later, because it doesn't equal anything at the moment. String j works the same way. Now, funny things about strings, though, you can have them equal nothing by going string, or you can go, string j equals just 2 parentheses and a semicolon. You can go null and a semicolon. Null means nothing. If you ever get this, that means not a number. Doesn't happen very often. I think it's actually like that. You can also have an empty string by going string.empty. That's a really handy one right there. But we're just going to go like this. We're just going to declare the variable right now. Now, to initialize the variable, you would go m equals 9. So now we declared int m up here and string j. So now we're saying that m is going to equal the value of 9. And then we can go j equals convert.to int32 m. What did I do wrong? Converts a base data type to another base data type. Convert type int to string. Oh, my bad. m.toString. So now, at first, 9 equals 9. Now, j equals 9. So it's, it's pretty easy. There's several different ways to declare a variable. So to declare one up here, for another example, say you have 4 integers, and they're going to be p, o, u, and y. So that's one way to declare 4 integers. I don't necessarily like that way. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of messy. I'd rather separate them all. Another way of doing it, and actually declaring several on one line, you can go int, let's delete, well, we use the top ones up here. So int p equals 1, o equals 2, u equals 3, and y equals 4. So that's pretty much it for declaring and things like that. Of course, character h equals j. You can do that too. So I really hope these made sense. I'm going to cut this short on this one because it starts getting a little bit more interesting next. And next is when we're going to start using all this stuff. Just kind of play around with it. And if I missed anything, or if you didn't quite understand something, or if you are wondering how to convert certain things, just remember that to convert something into something else, all you have to do is, if you have the int, or say you wanted to convert to a u short, you could go u short can't use u, op equals convert dot to well, you can't convert to short, I guess. You can convert to an s byte, a single, and a string. You can convert to a boolean, byte, character, date, time, which will come later, decimal, double, int 16, 32, and 64, an s byte, a single, converts the value of a specified object, which is a floating point number, a string, a uint, 16, 32, and 64. So I really hope this helped. And that's going to be it for this one. If I missed something, let me know. If you don't understand something, let me know. And subscribe if you haven't already for more to come. And I will see you in the next video.